Well,
Indeed.
follow-up question. What is African epistemology, African centeredness, Afrocentrism, and African paradigm? What is that for us?
African centeredness and African paradigm and Afrocentrism is seeing the world from how indigenous African societies function prior to colonialism. I do not consider Afrocentrism being Islamic or being Christian and I don't consider it that. I consider Afrocentrism indigenous African ways of looking at the world. So Wak or Voodoo or Yoruba spirituality or Odinani or Santeria Condoble, all of these that are rooted in Africa, to me, are what I would describe as Afrocentrism or African-centeredness.
Yeah, what were the principles behind the behavior? You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why, and if you don't understand epistemology, then you make dumb mistakes, like thinking the technology within itself is not African.
Yeah, yes.
Right.
That's when you make dumb mistakes like that. So in order for you to be African, you can't be modern.
Yeah.
You cannot take our culture and apply it to the modern world. Like our cultural outlook, the way that we look at things, the way that we behave, the way that we arrange our societies. We can't do that because apparently everybody loves African culture, but they definitely think that it's not strong. They think that it's weak compared to everybody else's. Do you see white people having white people will put a black person to head their society.
Right.
That's how powerful their culture is. You would never hear them. Like the only people that would be against that is the white people who are not in power. But people in power who know what real power is, they'll have a Chinese representing them. They'll have a Latino representing them. They don't give a shit because they know that you are our bitch. You belong to us. Us, on the other hand, we think that our culture is weak. So if we come in contact with white people, they're gonna take us over like The Walking Dead.
And usually that's because we allow that. Enough of us allow that. So that's usually true, ironically. But it's because of how we react.
And see, as an engineer and somebody in the science field, I always tell people this over and over and over again. Africans have got to understand the difference between Westernization and modernization.
Thank you. Can you please repeat that? Please say that again. And make sure, underrated mind, that you cut out this part of this conversation.
I did not.
Please. Please make sure you cut out this part. Say that again.
Africans have got to understand you cannot conflate Westernization with modernization. They're two different things. Westernization means going from a European and Western point of view. Modernization means catching up to what is modern. Hence, technologies, theory, science. An example of modernization. You don't see us doing transportation in horses or in wagons or in stagecoaches. We don't do that. We don't do calls on landlines. Okay? We don't use telegrams anymore. Why? You're modernizing your society to catch up to the modern day, modern technology. Okay? That's how you catch up with the world. That's how you stay relevant, and that's how you keep power.
Now let's think about this. If you think that modernization is Westernization, what are you saying about yourself? And what are you saying about your so-called enemy?
Paradigm shift.
You know what? Not only are they showing that their enemy is, quote unquote, more advanced, but they're falling right into white supremacist stereotypes. You are claiming to be Afrocentric, but what you're saying about Africanization and modernization indicates and primitive. Black people are backwards. Black people are not educated. They are incapable of higher thinking.
To give you an example of how people don't get the big picture and only get caught up in the little irrelevant details. I remember when before Black Panther the movie came out, I did a video. It was me, Minister, and neo-black nationalists did a video talking about the impact that movie would have on the culture. This was before the movie ever came out. And what the people concentrated on the irrelevant detail, which were, the Black Panther was created by Stan Lee and so-and-so. Those two white men. What they didn't realize is that, okay, yeah, but the creation of that character within the world that they created, what was the place of that character of T'Challa, the country of Wakanda, within the framework of the world that they had created? They were the number one technologically advanced nation in that world.
Right.
T'Challa, Tony Stark, and Reed Richards are the three smartest people on the planet. If it was two white guys and they wanted to push white supremacy, why did they give that land and that character so much gravitas? Black Panther, in his first appearance in the Marvel Universe, defeated the Fantastic Four by himself. Why would you do that? And also the lesson to be learned to, like, you have a technologically advanced African nation.
Right.
The most technologically advanced nation on the planet. You just skip over that because you got white man on the brain disease.
No, and they skip over the fact that they have vibranium and they use their vibranium to their benefit. They didn't go asking, outsiders, can you teach us how to use this vibranium? Can you educate? No, they learned how to use the vibranium themselves and they hid it. They went so far as to hide it from everybody.
Right.
They didn't even allow nobody knew where it was.
Yeah, on the surface, the world thought that they were just another third world country because that was the disguise that they wanted to maintain,
right,
to hide their real power.
Right.
It's a lot of things about that story that we could take away from and use. But what do we decide? You know what I'm saying? It's like we just skip over all of that shit. People love Wakanda, but don't want a nation of their own.
Facts.
Came up with a dance and all that shit.
Thing too, right? People were mad at Killmonger, which I understand Killmonger's point of view, and I'm more of the Killmonger person. But the thing about it is that Killmonger was coming from the revolutionary point of view, but he wasn't coming from the strategic revolutionary point. He was coming from, let me grab this vibranium and let me just take over the world. No strategy, no popular support. It was like, I'm just coming to take it. I'm going to take it by force. And he did it bluntly. It wasn't like, let me slowly or let me try to gain the people's trust. It was like, let me barge in the door.
That made sense because he was operating off of pain and hatred and hurt. That's why that character was so great. And I used to always make that distinction. We're watching a movie, first of all. So you're talking about characters, you're talking about story. You have a protagonist, you have an antagonist.
Right.
He was the perfect antagonist to T'Challa. Brilliantly written antagonist. Beautiful character. It doesn't mean that you agree with the character. It means that the way that the character is written is beautiful because it makes sense. He wasn't strategic at all. He had a grudge. He had a payback. So it's everything he was operating out of was reactionary.
And hold up, to further add to that, Killmonger is representative of the Black Power militant integration. He is the quintessential symbol of the Black Power American militant integration.
And that's why they love him so much. But they don't even understand what that character was all about. So it's kind of ironic that they love him. They don't even realize it.